morning, Unity of Sarasota. Good morning, yeah. Song by Daniel Nimad. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, breathe the same air. Well, I think we ought to get along better, you and I. The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear. Of the same small planet we are born. There's no foreign country anymore. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. Well, some say I'm out of touch with the times, but this old world is no place for a vision like mine. I can see it, and still I believe it. There's so many lives on the line. There's so many lives on the line. We breathe the same air. Everybody take a breath. Breathe the same air. And I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. And I breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. We breathe the same air, we drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air, and I think we ought to get along better, you know, you and I. Breathe the same air. Breathe the same air.
Rob Satori. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, and I think we ought to get along better, you and I. And all the other I's out there and all the other U's out there. Don't you think? That sounded a little less enthusiastic than what I'd hoped. I think we ought to put a little energy into getting along better.
Should drink the same coffee or something.
Yeah, something. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle, and I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something wonderful is always happening, and you're part of that wonder. So what that means is breathe in, build up your energy, and then release that energy and share it with everybody here. Deal? All right. All right. So what I would like you to know is that we are a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. This is who we are as a spiritual community, and this is who you are as an individual, because it is the individuals that create the community that we are. And so I'm going to ask you to repeat that with me. We are a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. Remember that. That's who you are, and it's the call for you. It is the call to being. It is the call to action. So don't just do that here. Be all of that everywhere that you are. I don't know about you, but I think the world could use a little bit of that. What do you think? Yeah, okay. I knew I was right. We are an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living right here and right now. And we join with our unity movement worldwide in creating a world that works for all. I would say that we've got some work to do in that regard. And so that's why I'm asking you to really embrace and embody that vision statement so that we can be the tip of the spear that creates a world that works for all. I don't know about you, but I'm older than 25. Some of you might not be, which you should listen anyway. I would like to live in a world that works before I leave this incarnation. And so I'm saying we need to get busy. Okay? Are you willing to do that with me? Would you like to live in that world too? Okay, so what's the hang up? I mean, let's just do it. All right? All right. That's a little more energy, but we'll get there. By the end of the service, we'll get the energy going. In the meantime, if you happen to be a guest or a newcomer visiting with us for the first time, would you please stand and remain standing? We'd like to find out where folks are visiting from. Okay? Terrific. Also, we have, yay, wow! How very cool. We also have a little gift for you. It's a shell necklace, which is indicative of the beautiful beaches of Florida. Each shell on that necklace represents the love that we are individually, and when we string it together, we create a community of love. And so in the far back here, in the black vest, where are you visiting from? Portland, Oregon. Yay! Pacific Northwest. I'm from Seattle myself, so welcome, Portland. Welcome to Sarasota. And how about in this black? Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yay! Welcome. We love it. Bruce, we've got a couple more in the back. How about here? Yes? We live here in Sarasota. Yay, welcome home. It's a great place to be from. And how about right over here? Where are you visiting from? Michigan. Michigan, all right. It is just a tad bit warmer here. I'm sure you're enjoying it. Welcome, glad to have you here. How about right here? Massachusetts. All right, welcome to Sarasota. Also warming up those bones a little bit. All right, you may be seated. We don't make the new folks stand the whole time. I wonder if I could get away with that if I said you did. Probably not. Okay, so I guess I'll just give that up right away. If you did not pick up a welcome packet on your way in, please do stop at the welcome table and pick one up on your way out. There's good information about unity in that packet. And clipped to the back of the envelope is a welcome card. And we'd love it if you would fill that out and let us get to know a little bit about you, and you can get to know a little bit about us. And you can leave that welcome packet in the offering plate at the end of the service or on the welcome table, whichever works for you. And so there's Bruce right there with some welcome packets. He's passing them out, and thank you, Bruce. Which brings me to also saying not only are you all welcome, wherever you may be in your spiritual journey, you're most welcome to journey with us for a day or a lifetime. And we also want to acknowledge the folks that are watching us on our live stream on our website, unityofsarasota.org. Let's wave to them. We can feel your energy coming in and joining with ours, so thank you for being here as well. Do know that if for some reason you're not able to come and be with us in person, you can always go to the website, unityofsarasota.org, and go to the services tab and scroll down to whichever service you want to see. You can see them live, or you can go back later and look at them recorded on that, both Wednesday and Sunday. You can look at them recorded there on that website. Or you can go to our Facebook page and get the recording there, or our YouTube page and get the recording there. So there's no excuse for missing, because there will be a quiz. One of these days I'm going to do a pop quiz. So tune in and tell your friends. Tell your friends about it as well. So however you're joining us, it's a wonder to have you celebrating with us on this Sunday morning. Our board member of the day is standing right outside the door. Kimberly, would you open those doors up for us and leave them open and have Bruce come on in? Nice try, Bruce. Seconds from a clean getaway, however. Gotcha. This is Bruce McLaughlin. He is the treasurer of our board of trustees and our board member in service today. So thank you, Bruce, for your service to this community. If you have questions about Unity of Sarasota, he'll be at the welcome table outside in the sanctuary lobby. Stop by, say hi, ask him questions. Let's see if we can stump Bruce. All right. Let's see, what else do I got here? We have some invitations for your participation. The first being our health and safety. We do ask that you wear your masks while you're indoors, that you distance from people that you don't live with or that are not in your pod. It's interesting. I guess we're all a bunch of whales now. We have pods, you know. But you can sit with those folks, but please distance from others. We have lots of sanitizer everywhere. Please use it liberally. Also, I want to note for you that we where our exits are, should it become necessary to leave the building for any reason. Your best exits are these two on the side. I feel like I'm a flight attendant. Hey, put your purse in the overhead bin there. Best two exits over here. If there's an incident of some sort, this may not be the best exit where you came in. There's also an exit, if you follow me through that hallway, if you can do stairs, you can follow me out that way. Otherwise, Don, if you'll stand up. David, if you'll stand up in the booth. David, you can follow these two guys and they will get you out of the building should it become necessary. Don't think it will, but it's good to be prepared, right? Also, we are not doing hospitality currently with Omicron, doing its thing. When we believe from the experts that it is safe to do so, we will bring hospitality with food and beverage back in Fellowship Hall. Doesn't mean you can't connect with one another without food. It's been known to happen. Not rarely, but it's been known to happen that you can still connect in community, and we certainly encourage you doing that either under the portico or typically you can be in the building doing that as long as you got your mask and your distancing. Today is the first new member class. So this is session 1, new member class. It'll be with me in Fellowship Hall. A number of you have signed up in advance. If you didn't sign up in advance, that's okay. You can still come. The second session will be next Sunday after service. Now, it says 12:30 to 2. However, what I'm going to encourage those of you who are coming to the class, go ahead after the service and head down there to the Fellowship Hall, and I will meet you down there as quickly as possible. I think we can actually start sooner than 12:30. And in fact, there's a wonderful surprise for you in Fellowship Hall, those of you who are taking the class. So you're going to want to go down there early. You might feel the energy in this room. We had a fantastic ceremony here yesterday. It was a bat mitzvah for a 13-year-old girl who is part of our congregation of humanistic Judaism that shares space here with us. It was an absolutely beautiful service. So this space is just vibrating with wonderful spiritual energy. And they're the ones who left us a surprise gift in the Fellowship Hall. So those of you who decided to sign up for the class this time, bonus time. So head down there after service and I will see you there, okay? Let's see. We also have a class coming up. It's called Heartline. And it's an opportunity for you to get to know more about yourself, how truly peace is in your own hands, that you have the ability to create the experience in life that you desire to have, and how you can ease emotional struggles in order to do that, and how you can feel more understood by other people in your life, and how you can understand other people. So it's taught by Linda Salazar, and it is a Zoom class, and it starts on the 8th, and then there's another session on the 12th. So look at the newsletter, look at the website, and it'll show you how you can sign up and what you need to do with that. It sounds like a pretty interesting class. She's done it in many, many Unity churches all over the country. Also, we have something special coming this month. It's the month of love, correct? So Valentine's Day happens to be on a Monday, and I figure you're all taking each other out to some sort of dinner somewhere or doing something nice. But on Wednesday evening, which is the 16th, we're having a recommitment to love ceremony with music here. The ceremony, part of the ceremony will be focused on couples, and another part of the ceremony will be focused on singles. So if you're not currently coupled, doesn't matter. You can still make a commitment to love, and who knows, by next year you might be coupled. Never know what can happen with these things. So come Wednesday evening. It should be really fun and fantastic and sacred, so do that. And for the occasion, Laurel Rund, who does our website and all of our social media, created some brand new cards. Love is in the air, Happy Valentine's Day, and these are only available in our bookstore. So check it out, folks. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, here's the really fun part. This is what you've all been waiting for. They laugh. February 27th, our annual meeting. Everyone is welcome to come to the annual meeting. Only members can vote. It's an important time for us to come together as a spiritual community, setting some of our direction for the coming year. And so we'll be voting on, there will be a bylaw resolution revision. So that's an important vote. We will be confirming those who will be serving on the Board of Trustees for the next year. So please come, and there will be, am I right? There will be food and beverage. We're going to feed you. So you get to eat while, that's how we get our message across, because your mouth is full, so we get to say what we need to say. So please come and partake and be part of the vision and part of the movement, the activity of your spiritual community. Okay, and now really, seriously, the really good part. It happens to be birthday Sunday, so I'd like to know who among you is celebrating a birthday in the month of February. Please stand so we can acknowledge you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. And anniversaries too.
And so we acknowledge anniversaries, whether it's your birthday anniversary, your sobriety birthday, the birthday of your grandchildren, somebody you just met yesterday, whatever it may be, we celebrate with you. And we do have a tradition here at Unity. In the back of the seat in front of you on the right-hand pocket, there's a special envelope. And we ask you to consider donating $1 for each year that you're celebrating. It is my hope that you're really old. And at least for today. And we ask that you put that in there in that special envelope and put at the bottom of the check or whatever it is, birthday. And all of that money goes to paying for this beautiful renovation of the sanctuary that we did this past year. So thank you. You will be immortalized in these walls. All right. Rob,
Yep.
Let's do the Unity song.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel is already here, is already real. There is no one out there, there is no no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me. There's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
We are one. We are all unity. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. I want to acknowledge Thich Nhat Hanh. He is a spiritual presence that has been on this planet, and through his practices, his prayers, and his very presence, he has left the world in a better way than how he found it. And he has given us that inspiration and shown us how we too can do the same. And so I want to move into prayer. I love this quote: "My actions are my only true belongings." And so be mindful of your actions moving forward. And so I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Otherwise, a soft gaze at the candle flame or the beautiful grounds outside. Sink into your chair. Imagine that chair is the very presence of Spirit surrounding you, supporting you, lifting you. And then let's do our practice for getting centered and fully present. Let's take a deep breath in together to the center of being. Hold and release the breath fully. And so as we move into being fully present in this now moment, the now moment, which is full of the power of creation, we can take this now moment as we release the past and let it go, and we don't yet grab on to the future. We stay in this present moment, this now moment of creation, where our actions are our only true belongings. And we create from this present moment. And so once again, breathe in deeply to the center of your being. Know that your heart is filled with the breath of Spirit. And then release the breath. And again, breathing in deeply, knowing that it is the breath, the inspiration of Spirit. And holding that space, and then releasing the breath again. Knowing that as we breathe in and we breathe out the very experience of Father, Mother, God, Spirit. And as we breathe out our own individualized expression of that one Spirit. We are all one. And so from that place of centeredness, that place of presence, we move into prayer. A prayer of affirmation, not of bargaining, begging, beseeching, but a prayer of affirmation, affirming that we are creating a world that works for all, affirming that that presence of the living Spirit is present in Russia and Ukraine, is present across this country where folks are being devastated by Mother Nature, present in all places experiencing any kind of strife or negativity of any nature, that presence of spirit, of light, overcomes the darkness of the present moment in individual and collective lives, and that we, by being fully present in this creative now moment, can powerfully and positively impact the world that we live in. We have been given this gift to use wisely. And so I am grateful for this reminder of the truth of who we are and what we are capable of. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen. And so let's say our statement of being together. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God. I actually want to call, this is Black History Month, by the way. I want to call Courtney Johns up. She's going to share a little bit. We're going to have folks sharing this month about their experience of Black history. And can you see it on there? Yeah, you can. I can't see it there. There's also a movement afoot right now to call forth Black Future Month. And I would say it's not just Black Future Month, it's Black Future Month and beyond into infinity. And so Courtney Johns is going to be our first sharer during Black History Month, so come on up.
Good morning. I'm going to, in light of Black History Month, celebrate and pay homage to my great-great-grandfather, Preston Johns. Before it was popular to be organic, he was into his horticulture, and as a child, I remember watching him place his plants and his herbs that he grew into his mortar and pestle, grinding it up, and to me, miraculously turned into a healing salve. He took that salve and went through the community, door to door, and he would say to me, "Granddaughter, I am going to tend to the sick and the aching." And from that, it warmed my heart to see this man of a frail stature. I always remembered him wearing an oversized jacket. I thought it was oversized, but he was a small man. And he went proudly down the street, home to home, rubbing and administering his salve. People actually got better. So, in light of heroes and people, Black people, who had a stand in a lot of what we are today, which is my grandfather passing on his passion to me, because I am so into aromatherapy and my business of aromatherapy, and got into the medical field when I was a younger woman. That is owed to my wonderful great-great-grandfather, Preston Johns.
One heart, one life, we are one family, one earth. One heart, one life, we are one family, one earth. Together we can make a difference in this world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life, we are one family, one earth. One heart, one life, we are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in this world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one heart. And even though it seems we are so far apart, and many times we're feeling all alone, the truth of who we are from the start. We are one heart, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in this world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation. We are one heart, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. Sing it with me. One heart, one life, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart.
I love that song. It's a great song. I want to begin with us reciting our community core value affirmation together. So if you say this with me. We are a diverse and inclusive community of people who serve and rely upon one another. And I want to thank Courtney for sharing on this first Sunday of Black History Month and helping us to move forward into Black Future Month and beyond. Shouldn't have to be a month, right? Any more than any of the other holidays that we celebrate should be a day or a month. It should be a lifestyle. So thank you for getting it started. You know, our world reflects our consciousness, our beliefs, our emotions, our actions. They come back to us almost like boomerangs. And so I'm suggesting that we really commit to creating that world that works for all. You know, I'm serious. I know I say it every Sunday, but I really mean it. I really mean it. Do I think it's possible? Yeah. If we pay attention to the news headlines, we might say, yeah, you're a dreamer. Okay, I'm a dreamer. I'm either delusional or I'm a dreamer. I'm going to choose dreamer. Okay? Because I do believe it's possible. It is absolutely possible. The question is, do we have the will? We have the power, but do we have the will? Let's find out. We can follow Jesus' suggestion, which is to stretch out thine hand. Stretch out thine hand to another person. Give them a lift up, a lift over. Stretch out thine hand. Affirm the unity that embraces our differences. That there is a unity that envelops our diversity. It's all in there, and it's a good thing. And so let's extend a hand to others with goodwill and love and compassion. Our unity teachings encourage us to live our values and our principles, not just on Sunday or when we're in a class, but to live them all the time. Frankly, I think it's most especially a call to live them out there in the world, in our daily life. That's where they're most needed. I mean, we're preaching to the choir here, right? Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here. But there's some folks who haven't heard this yet. There's some folks that we could share with. And more importantly, some folks that we can lead by example. We can model what it is that we believe. And it has an impact, a ripple effect in the world. You know, imagine our nation, imagine our world living unity principles of oneness and love and unity. Imagine that world. That's the world that works for all. Wouldn't you like to be there? Sure. Wouldn't you like others doing the same so that you're the recipient of all of that as well? It's possible. You know, imagine a world without divisions of race and religion and nationality and ethnicity and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That those things exist, but they're not divisions. They're not separations. Imagine racial and economic and educational and civil justice and equality for all. Imagine that world. Seems like one that would work. You know, what if we decided, we made a conscious, convicted decision to understand and to appreciate and to embrace differences? What if we did that? How might that change your life? How might that change another person's life? How might that change the world? You know, we have historically liked to think of America as a melting pot. And you know what the vision that brings up to me is this big old kettle of vegetable soup that becomes a mush all mixed together that has a whole different flavor than what it started out. Personally, I would like to imagine instead a big, fantastic mixed salad. Everything maintains its individual flavor while coming together to make something even better, right? You can still taste the tomatoes, you can taste the carrots, the celery, the onions, the olives, the hearts of palm, whatever it is all that you put in that salad. You can still taste the distinct flavors, but when it all comes together, it's even better. How about that? Sounds better to me than some mushy old vegetable soup. Okay, you don't have to go to the gym this week because I've got a little physical activity for you right now. Okay, so please stand when I say something that describes you. Okay, and then when I get ready to go to the next thing, you can sit down. But stand again if I say something else that describes you, and then sit down, so on and on. You ready? Okay, if you're a woman, stand up. Oh, the women have it. I'd say we are the majority. Okay, terrific. You may sit down. If you're a man, stand up. There they are. All right, you may sit. If you're over 60 years old, please stand up. Yikes. Okay. What a wise bunch. You may sit. If you're under 30 years old, please stand. Yay! Woo! 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 I'm going to have to up that age, apparently. If you're over 6 feet tall, please stand. Okay. If you've ever studied or followed Buddhism, please stand. Cool. Cool. You may sit. If you've ever been a Catholic, please stand. If you've recovered, sit down. If you've ever been a Muslim, please stand. All right. If you've ever been Jewish, please stand. If you're gay or lesbian or trans, please stand. If you're of Asian heritage, please stand. All right. How about Latin or Spanish heritage? All right. All right, good. How about European descent? Should be a lot of people. Okay. All right, good. Yeah, Europe. How about Native American descent? Woo! All right. How about mixed ethnic or racial origin? Looks like we might have some salads going here. That's good. If you've completed college, please stand. Cool. Yay, that's good. You're probably still paying for it. If you have children, please stand. Wow, quite a few. If you're adopted, please stand. That would be me. If you earn less than $50,000 a year, please stand. Okay, means yay. Means the rest of you are rich. If your income is more than $75,000 a year, please stand and see me after service. Okay. And if you believe in Father, Mother, God, Spirit, or any of the other thousands of names for God, please stand up. You'll see in that last one that we are all one. We are all one. You know, all of those categories and aspects represent the great diversity of the human family. And isn't it wonderful that we have all that diversity? Isn't that cool? I mean, you guys are an incredible salad. Wow, really powerful. You know, how many times did you stand up? Think about it. How many times did you stand up? And do you know someone who fits each of those categories? You know, maybe someone didn't stand when you stood up for some of those questions. but maybe they did stand with you for some of the other questions. We may have a lot more in common than we realize, right? So here's a question. Here's an important question. When and what differences matter most to you and why? Think about that. What are the differences that seem to matter most to you, seem to get your energy most, and why? And what kind of energy? Probably not people in this room, but people just like them out there. Think about it. See what triggers you next time you're out and about. Often the differences become reasons to divide or to fight. When I just graduated from high school, and I think was in my first year of college. And my mom had been down in Texas taking care of her ailing mother. And so my dad and I drove down to finally pick her up because she told her siblings, okay, somebody else's turn besides mine. And so we went down to pick her up, and while we were there, we had this huge family dinner, extended family dinner. And while we're sitting there, the discussion ensued about just all kinds of disrespectful conversation about black people, about Hispanic people, about Asian people, you name it, about gay people, just about everybody except those white Texans sitting at that dinner table got disrespected. Foreigners, everybody. So at one point, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I take my napkin and wad it up, and I stand up, and I throw the napkin in the plate, and I said, well, I was born in Germany, and I'm just going to leave so you can talk about that crazy foreigner that they adopted. And off I go. And I could hear from the next room my grandmother saying to my mother, how are you raising that child with such disrespect? I'm like, me disrespect? Hello, you just dissed everybody. Everybody. And some of the rest of us have a little bit of that family history as well. I'd like to think that we've evolved. And there's probably some more evolving to do. It was because I was that crazy German. That's why they, oh, that's the excuse. But we can choose how it is that we want to relate to people who are different from us. We can see them as the other, or we can see them as like me, a human being like me, slightly different and perhaps even more interesting, right? I was adopted from a German family by an American family, and all my life I was different from everybody, including everybody in my own home. I didn't look like anybody. I had behaviors and reactions to things that were different from everybody else in my family. So I just got used to the idea that I was the other. I was different. And then when I was, right after I graduated from college, suddenly I had this obsession to go back to Germany and to find my birth mother and whoever else I might find there. So I did. So I went back. I was born in a little tiny German village about the size of a Post-it note. And when I got there, I had some trepidation because I thought, what will these village people think? Here comes this illegitimate kid that nobody really knew about, and what's that going to be like? Well, I got there. It was almost like the conquering hero come home. It was amazing. There was not any kind of juju around it at all. And what I learned later was because of the war, there were a lot of women who had children out of wedlock because there were a lot of dead German soldiers. So I wasn't unusual there. I wasn't so different. So when I came home, it was almost like, I was there for a month. It was almost like the little baby coming home from the hospital and got everybody's attention, and oh, wasn't it wonderful? And within the by the end of the first week, I'm already looking at all the ways that I'm like these people. I'm like, wow, I'm about the same height. I actually look like people. I look like all of them, actually. And it was like looking in the mirror almost for the first time in my life. And so I was looking for all the ways I was similar. My nephew and my aunt and I had the exact same laugh. So I looked for all these similarities. And because I had just come home, everybody wanted to do things for me, like I was that little baby, incapable. So they would draw my bath, they would fix my meals, they would do everything for me. By the end of the second week or into the third week, I'm looking to see how I'm different. I'm starting to declare my independence and saying, I can do it mine own self, as we do. So it was almost like a month of growing up all over again, accelerated. First looking for likenesses, then for differences, and then for more likenesses or a balance of the two. And realizing, in the grand scheme of things, I acquired things both from that birth family as well as my adoptive family, and that I was a mixed salad, right? And so all of us have aspects of ourselves that we can look for and look at from our family of origin, from the people that we hang out with, and we realize that we're not so terribly different after all. That while we have differences, we have more commonalities. And so I think it's important that we begin to honor and to celebrate the diversity within the oneness and unity that is life. First and foremost, I think, I learned this from that experience going home to Germany, was by appreciating our own many selves. You all just did that when you stood up. You stood up several times, most of you. There are many aspects to you, and so you found that some of those aspects drew you into commonality with other people who stood at the same time that you did. And so, think about how many times you stood up and who stood up with you. You, all by yourself, are diverse, and yet you're one. So there is that diversity within your oneness, let alone within our community and our world. And so I think it's a call to move beyond stereotypes and prejudices and allowing differences to separate us, but rather to look at one another for the richness that we are, the truth of who we are. To balance power in diverse groups when we have gatherings, to realize that we're all powerful creators of the lives that we want to experience individually and collectively. That we co-create with spirit and with one another, that we seek common ground, and then ultimately some consensus and the sense of oneness that is the truth of who we are, that we engage in open conversation with people who are different in a broad and more inclusive way. Seek out somebody who's different from you. You might learn a few things that are pretty powerful. Engage in dialogue, not debate. If you want to be in the debate team, I think that ship may have sailed when you were in high school or college. Engage in dialogue so that we can begin to know one another, so that we can begin to be known. If we really listen to know and understand, we may actually realize that what is most personal also happens to be most universal, because we're all part of the human experience. We're all part of the human race. We have an opportunity to build trust and connections that are stronger than the ones that already exist, simply by our interacting with those connections, with our knowing it and giving it attention. We live in one human community, and we seek out our common unity, the commonality amongst us. The Buddha taught, nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else. Everything is connected in this universe. Encountering each other's experiences and opinions and interests and feelings and stories is an opportunity either for conflict or collaboration. The choice is ours. I would hope that we would choose wisely. Take a breath and choose wisely. To honor the diversity within the greater unity. To know that many come from the one spirit and still remain one. Connect spirit to spirit, heart to heart. It's the namaste, right? I believe that we can create that world that works for all when we value, embrace, and celebrate the individual uniqueness and contribution of all people as they express through differences of gender, ethnicity, culture, history, experience, talents, sexual orientation, and on and on and on and on. That's a quote by yours truly. And I hope that I live by it. And I would like to see all of us live by it. Before I close, I want to move into prayer. So close your eyes if it feels comfortable to do so. Otherwise, a soft, fuzzy gaze. I'm one of the few, one of those rare breeds of New Thought ministers who actually does pay attention to the news. I believe that those negative news headlines are prayer requests from the universe. A request for prayer for us to know the light of the opposite of the present darkness that we may be experiencing individually or collectively. And if you do look around occasionally or hear a headline, you'll know that there are plenty of prayer requests all over the planet. From the person down the street to you to the person all the way across the globe. And so let's move into that very center of our being, that place where Father, Mother, God, Spirit resides within us and then spills out all around us. As our children say, there is not a spot where God is not. And so let us be one of those expressions of the divine that moves out into this world to remind us all that we are one. That there is unity wrapping itself around the diversity and the differences that we see and experience. And that those differences and diversity are a powerful, powerful expression of the divine. Let us pray right now, not only for our own enlightenment and evolution, but for the enlightenment and the evolution of leaders across this planet, of citizenry across this planet, that we wake up to the reality and the truth that we are one. We are interconnected, that what we do for another comes back to us. What we do to another also comes back to us. And so let us reach out thine hand to give a leg up, to walk with one another in creating a world that works for all, because the world was given to us in blessing, requesting that we be the blessing that gives it back to one another. Let us live our lives as though we truly believed that we are one, interconnected, inextricably intertwined with one another. And we do that with understanding and love and light and compassion and reaching out thine hand to one another. Know that this is the time, and we are the people who can create a world that works for all. Blessings on your journey of embracing our differences. Begin by acknowledging that diversity thrives within unity, and that unity thrives through diversity. Listen to the voices and the creativity of children all over the world, and go to the Embracing Our Differences exhibit at the waterfront. These are children coming together from all parts of the world, creating messages for us. Go to the exhibit down by the waterfront park or whatever it's called. It's down there by, Bayfront Park, not Waterfront Park. Go there, it will move you. It will move you, I guarantee. And so it is. Together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen.
Because the one I love lives inside.
I'm going to ask you to stand up.
Of you, I lean as close to you
as I can. Those are the words. Sing it.
Because
The one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you. I lean as close to you as I can. Namaste. I'm going to invite our chaplains and ministers to come forward, please. These are your prayer chaplains and ministers here to be in prayer with and for you for a greater experience of life, hopefully a more diverse one. And so they will be available after service for 1-minute miracles, because it only takes a minute to manifest a miracle, because miracles are awesome normalities if we open up to them. If you can't stay after service to be in prayer, please see one of these folks and they will make a private arrangement with you at another time. Let's thank them for their service, please. I also want to remind you we do have a Wednesday evening service. It's a music and inspiration service. And this Wednesday evening, the theme is energetic. And you know energy. Actually, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith talks about, he doesn't talk about energy, he talks about energetic in the same way that most of us talk about energy. And energy has many, many forms. Sometimes it's like, wah! And other times it's like, we just did, namaste, right? This Wednesday night it'll be more namaste, quiet, pervasive energy. So come join us Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Lisa Arundel back there on slides, and I will be doing the music that evening. And Reverend Robin will be doing the talk and the meditation. So please join us. If you haven't joined us for a Wednesday evening, you owe it to yourself to try it. So come on by. So thank you for that. And this is a time, an opportunity for us to remind ourselves that we live in an abundant universe with a very generous God. And so it's our opportunity to let that abundance that we have been blessed with flow through us and back out again to do greater work even still. And so I know some of you send your giving in other ways. There will be folks at the back of the sanctuary with the offering plates smiling behind those masks and thanking you. Even if you're not putting something in the basket, at least put your hand over the basket and give it blessing and prayer so that you can be part of that divine flow and circulation of the goodness of God. 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. So be cheerful. Those of you who have an income of $75,000 or more, I will be back there cheering with you. Just kidding. Whatever your gift may be, hold it to your heart and infuse it with all the positive qualities of spirit that most resonate with your soul, and know that that energy will travel with your gift. And now let's affirm it together. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. Thank God within and all around us. And now, if you'll stand for we did our statement of being, for the prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. All right. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.